Welcome. Today we are going to look at Kaplan Meier survival curves, how to draw them in R, how to interpret them, and adding a p-value, adding these median survival lines, so adding the confidence intervals, and how to add the risk table. So the data we are going to use is the multiple myeloma data. It comes with one of the packages that we are going to use. So you can create a R script. This one everyone can create, all R Markdown. I like R Markdown because it puts everything into sections. So you can create your own. Then we can copy these sections and paste them. So where do we begin? This is what we're going to follow. I created this such that we don't waste time. So we begin by installing all loading required packages for this Kaplan Meier survival curves. The packages we need tidyverse, subminer, and survival package. So if you don't have them, you can install them. This is the command for installing all of them at once. Install.packages, you create a C, and that means you're going to install more than one package. If you want to install one package at a time, you don't need this C. So you load these libraries. So let's load them because I already have them. So this is how we load the packages. So you can see that my environment is already loaded. So let's remove this everything. So by creating this command, rm list equals ls. This is how we clear our environment. So after we load the data called myeloma, so this data comes with the survival and subminer packages. So we can run that, and it is here. If you want to view the data, you can go in our console and type view with capital V, and you can look at the data called myeloma. So this is the data. It has the molecular group. This is called the chromosome group. It's a treatment group. This is the event group that we want in our survival. The event, which means either someone died or not. Then time means the time to death. So 0 means someone did not die. 1 means the person died. This is the time in months, time to death. This is the outcome in survival, in the survival function, time to event. Then the event is the 1 or 0. Either event happened or the event didn't happen. So this was a treatment for patients with multiple myeloma. So you can have other data, which is a time to event, like for example, time to deposit money after customers have created a bank account, time to someone returning to your shop after they have bought something. So that's all called time to event analysis, or survival. So survival doesn't mean that someone has to be dying. It is just name given to all the time to event analysis. So let's go back. We can remove this. Let's go back. This is our myeloma data. We can rename this data. Let's rename it tutorial. We rename it such that we get familiar to the wording. So myeloma, you see, by doing this, I've created a new data set which is identical to the one that we had. So let's start by knowing the columns. I think we have known the columns, but we can still list them. If you want to list the columns in your data set, you type this command, call names, then the data set that you want. So these are the columns that we have: time, chromosome status, treatment, event. So I think we already saw this. Then let's begin by fitting a survival function. So we are going to fit a survival function for this data. So by fitting a survival function for the entire data set, we are trying to get to draw the Kaplan Meier survival curve for the entire data set. So we can name it fit1, and we are going to do with we are going to use subfit because we are fitting it, and in the subfit we are going to see that we have two functions. We have a function which is for survival, and survival is the time, which is time to event, and the event itself. So we want the event, the event that we want is 1, which means death, time to death. So by creating this 1, it means you want the event to be 1. So we are fitting a survival function, and that function is serve. You realize serve S has a capital S. S is a capital S. So we are fitting a survival function with time to event, which is time. You may find that this might be named another variable in another data set, and our outcome, or I mean all our event, is event, and we want that the event that is required is death, which is 1. Then our data equals tutorial. So let's go ahead and fit. So we have fit this survival function here. So we can run a summary of this survival function if we want to see what we call a life table. So by running a summary of fit1, you see it has all the data, the time, the number at risk when we are beginning, then the event that happened during that time, the survival probability, standard error, and the confidence interval. So we want to plot this. So we are going to plot the survival probabilities versus the time. So we are going to plot this against time. So in order to plot that, let's first go ahead and get more of this. So in order to plot this into a Kaplan Meier survival curve. In order to plot survival versus time, we are going to use a command that is called ggsubplot. So ggsubplot is found in submin. So and we can also have the ggplot2, which is found in tidyverse. So ggsubmin is supported by ggplot2, which is in tidyverse. That's why we need both. So ggsubmin, ggsubplot, and we are plotting a plot of this fit1, and our data is tutorial. So you can see this is the Kaplan Meier survival curve for the entire data set. This is the survival probability versus the time. So at the beginning of the study, when time is 0, nobody was dying, so all the patients were alive. So as time goes on, the patients started to die. This is time in months. So their survival probabilities started to drop. So as time goes on, the survival probabilities started to drop because they are starting to die off. So the median survival probability, which would be 50% when the population is left, we see that we didn't reach that. So we shall not have the 50% line, but we can have the 50% in time. So our 50% in time is around here, which is 40. And when you draw a curve, you may see that it corresponds to a survival probability of 0.75. So that is a survival Kaplan Meier survival curve for the entire data set. Now we are going to look at adding the median survival line and adding a risk table plus labels. So by adding, these are just things we add on this curve. So the curve is called, is this one, which is the ggsubplot. So let's store it into another variable called Kaplan Meier. We can call it Kaplan Meier survival. So we are storing the entire data set into this. We are storing this graph into this variable. So, but what do we need in this variable? So we are going to add what we call the median survival line. Let me show you what we are going to add. We are going to add the median survival line. H means the horizontal and the V means the vertical. We are going to add the title, the risk table, then the themes. We give a color to the palette and the theme of the entire graph. So you can just copy this or we can just type it, median line, and we are going to have horizontal and vertical. What else do we want? We want a legend, which is the title. So don't forget to put commas at the end of the command. So we are going to add a risk table. The risk table, then its height 0.2 and the theme. Then we add color to the palette. So this color, this is the palette, this curve here. The color is this is you can get any other color. So these color codes are available on Google. For example, if I want red, it's F and 4 zeros. So this theme, the GG theme, is found in the ggplot. So I'll teach you about ggplot. So let's run this. So the median survival not reached. Okay. So let's print and see. So this is what we have. So the median survival timer is not reached because the probability of 50%, we see there is no one who died. There is no curve down here. So but we can add this risk table. We can say at the beginning the number of at risk is the entire population. So as we went to 20 months, a few died and the number at risk were reduced to 20. As we went to 40 months, they become 94, 10, until they all died. So this is the red that we have added by using this color code. So this is how we add the median survival line and the risk table. We can also add a confidence interval, but it's already there. This brale color, red color, it's called the confidence interval. So let's see if we want to compare between groups, or what we call the log rank test. So we are going to fit the same. We're going to fit the same Kaplan Meier curve. You can actually copy it. It is allowed. So we're going to fit the same Kaplan Meier curve. Instead, we are going to compare between groups. And the groups we want to compare is the chromosomal status. So you just copy that and paste it there. And let's call, you can leave it as fit 1 if you don't want the environment to get loaded. That's a good thing with R. You just replace this one. So you can name it fit in order to separate them. So let's fit this. So let's create a GG subplot for our fit, and the data equals tutorial. So just if you don't want to go on clicking this, just press Ctrl Enter, and here we are. So we have our plot survival. The Kaplan Meier survival curve for the chromosomal status. We have red for 2 copies, green for 3 copies, and blue for 4+ copies. So like we did, we can also add a risk table, confidence interval, and the median survival. So let's go ahead and add the risk table, and we rename this. This looks weird. So let's rename this, add the risk table and the confidence intervals, and the median survival lines, and we change this theme. So by doing that, we are going to do the same thing as we did here, but here we are going to add a few things. So we are going to add the legend, which is the title to rename those labels that we saw. We're going to add a p-value, confidence interval, risk table, and change the theme and the colors of these lines. So first, to add the median survival line, you can just repeat the same thing. So we repeat the same thing by storing this into a different, so we can call Kaplan Meier. We can call it Kaplan Meier, maybe chromosome. So we're just adding a few things here. We are adding the median survival line, which is the horizontal and vertical. Don't forget the comma. We are adding the title to the legends and the legends themselves. So this is the chromosome with the chromosome type, maybe, I don't know. Then legend, we want to rename these stratas. That's the legend.labels. And these labels, they are in three graphs. So there are three graphs. There is one at let me show you. There are three graphs. There is one at 2 copies, 3 copies, and 4+ copies. So we're going to do that. So there is one at 2 copies, one at 3 copies, and 4+ copies. So what else are we going to add? We're going to add a p-value. Is it? Yes, we are going to add a p-value. I think we can leave out the confidence interval to make it look weird. So we're going to leave out the confidence interval. We are going to add we can add a risk table. So at first we are going to add a p-value equals true. Then let's add the risk table. Risk.table equals false. No, let's put it at true. Then let's format these colors. Let's add our own colors. These are the color codes. You can just Google color codes, and you get to see the different kinds of color codes, and you use them. No one can cram the entire codes of color codes. So you can just Google color codes and you will see the different color codes and what they mean. So this is it. We can run this. Yeah, it is already stored. Then we can print it. Before we print it, let's add a few lines here. So let's print this Kaplan Meier Chrome. Yeah, this is how it has come out like. So the risk table is it shows you the number that were at the beginning and how they reduced per each category. And you see, I think these ones in the middle, the 3 copies were dying off faster than everyone else, and the p-value is significant. It means the survival between these chromosome types was statistically different from each other. So if you go ahead and look at the hazard ratios, they will be significant. So it means the one which is the curve which is above the other means it has a better survival or better outcome. If it was time to create a bank account, it means the curve are up. Those people, if they are education levels, the one which is up means they will create a bank account faster than this one which is below. Now, since this is death, time to death, it means these people who are below, their survival probabilities are going down faster. It means their survival was bad. They were dying off faster. And you see, we reached the median survival for the 3 copies. These 3 copies, people were dying off faster. Their survival probabilities was bad compared to these 2 and 4. And you see, we reached the median survival probability for these 3 copies, and it was at around 50 months. That's when 50% of the people died in the 3 copies. Then we can you can remove this risk table by simply making this risk dot table as a false. We can add a confidence interval. Why not? Let's see if we added the confidence interval, how it would look. So it is confident interval. So let's put it at true and run this again. Then let's print and let's see. So you see, they will look weird. The confidence intervals will be overlapping. So that's why we put it at false. Yeah, now it is clean. So let's see what we have next. Oh, changing the styles. This is it has nothing to do with Kaplan Meier. So you're just trying to mess around with the font, adding bold, italics, and such things. But I think we have finished. We have exhausted the Kaplan Meier survival curves and the interpretation. Maybe if you want to export this curve, I'm going to show you how, because you can just oh, what is happening? Oh, okay. Okay, you can just right click and save the image, or copy it and take it to a Word document. Saving, you can just save it anywhere, then you can come back and, but the good way to save this image is if we type it here in the console, Chrome, yeah, it will come in the new window. So here we can save. We can save it as a PNG. PNG is the best image file. we can save it as a PNG, and you can save it and come back and look at it. So next time we shall look at the Cox regression in R and how to get those hazard ratios. Yes, the measure of association, and we see what was the measure of association between these chromosome types and someone dying. Or we could use another example, maybe for in a business or something like that. Thanks for watching, and please save our channel, subscribe to it, like our videos, leave a comment for any of the statistical thing that you want us to clarify or to make a video on. Thank you.